Call to the honourable member for Paterson.
How is the Albanese Labor government supporting Australia's resource and manufacturing industries, Prime Minister? Are there any alternative approaches that would leave people worse off?
Call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. And I thank the member for Paterson for her question. And indeed, when I was at Tomago with the member for Paterson and the member for Hunter and my ministerial colleagues, it was a great day securing jobs there, which are so important for the Hunter region. And indeed, our government's plan for a future made in Australia is about Australian workers making more things here. I met with the CEO of Rio Tinto just yesterday as well, the global CEO who was here, welcoming the work that we had done to secure the future of the aluminium industry here in Australia. We want to make sure that we don't just export our resources and buy back the finished products. We want to make things here. We want to add value here, turning the resources the world needs into products the world wants. And last night, our production tax credits passed the Senate, opposed by those opposite, but supported by the crossbenchers in the Senate. Very important that they backed jobs, and they backed Western Australia, but they also backed our industries in Queensland, in New South Wales, in Victoria and Tasmania. Our aluminium industry is a great Australian industry. According to the peak body, aluminium is Australia's highest earning manufacturing export. The industry directly employs more than 20,000 people, and it indirectly supports another 55,000. Australia produced 1.5 million tonnes of aluminium in 2022. Now, those opposite voted against this legislation for production tax credits last night, but they also have a record of opposing the aluminium industry and indeed wanting it set offshore. Now, the Shadow Treasurer, when he was a consultant, delivered a presentation on competition in the minerals sector. A full presentation, including a killer slide that read, "In aluminium, we are missing our chance to replace..."
Order. The Prime Minister will pause. The Leader of the Opposition is going to pause. The Shadow Treasurer will just give it a rest so I can hear from the Manager.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. It goes to relevance. I can see the question asked for invited a compare and contrast.
Order.
We're not even talking about comments from the Shadow Treasurer when he was a Member of Parliament or a Minister in the former government. God knows when the Prime Minister is referencing how long ago cannot be relevant even to an expansive view of that question.
Order. I'm not sure what document the Prime Minister is reading from, but if he's reading from a document, from a presentation, he's going to have to make his answer very relevant to what he was asked about to make sure that it is directly relevant. He has the call.
Indeed, I'll certainly do that, Mr Speaker, because I was asked about the industry, and this explains the ideological position of those opposite who want manufacturing sent offshore, and they've done that for a long period of time.
Order.
And here's the quote. "In
Order.
aluminium, we are missing our chance to replace uncompetitive processing with bauxite exports." And by killer slide, I mean job killer. That's what they want. In his case, he said this: "In aluminium, there are few prospects for growth. We cannot compete in processing. Australian aluminium smelting is uncompetitive on both capital and operating costs." And I note that he says that's right. They've never supported jobs here, and they've never supported...
Order. Prime Minister, seeking to table document.
Yes, Mr Speaker. I table the report that shows their support for sending the aluminium industry offshore.
Okay. Order.